we've all heard the term before, YN. YN. Yeah, that's a big thing. It's, sprouted up in the last year. You'll see a group of young black men. You say, "Hey, look over there! It's a bunch of YNs." And YNs essentially stands for a young nigger. And what a young no, I'm. This is what people say. I swear to God, that's a young nigger. And essentially, what people say is a young nigger is a young black guy who really doesn't behave as he should. He's probably sags his pants. Probably he's robbed a couple of Kias or stolen a couple of Kias. Probably sells a little weed on the side. And, the typical YN shit. Okay? And I don't really like to use the term YN. Not because I find it disparaging or something, but I think the reason why the YNs, if you will, I think the reason why the YNs are so bad because of the GNs, okay, because of the grown niggas, okay. The reason the YNs are so bad are because the GNs are even worse. Where do you think the YNs came from? The young niggers came from the grown niggers, okay. The grown niggers have been off the chain since the motherfucking 80s, okay, absolutely off the chain. And now we're seeing the chickens come home to roost because this crop of black people, this crop of niggers we currently have, and I'll stop saying niggers, I'll say niggas instead. This current group of black people that we have, this is the first generation of blacks that are growing up outside of the church. These are the first group of unchurched black people. What does that mean? Well, in prior generations, even though a lot of blacks didn't necessarily live up to it, we at least pretended to live up to Christian values. We at least collectively understood that these biblical values instill morality that we are not going to get from anywhere else. So we collectively abide to it, or we at least collectively pretend to abide to it. We collectively acknowledge it as the right way to go. As we've allowed the media to propagandize us and we believe the propaganda, we've gotten away from that. As we have allowed the witches like Beyonce to convince us that God isn't real, to convince us that the church isn't real, and even, some crooked pastors, we've allowed them to convince us that all this is fake. Well, we then have a community of lawlessness. All right, that creates a moral vacuum where Christianity is sucked out, the Bible is sucked out, religion and morality is sucked out. But it has to be replaced with something. We've replaced it with this secular worldview that has been extremely destructive on the black community. That leads us to the video that you're looking at on the screen. Quite frankly, I have so much to say about this. So much to say about this. Where you have a trans teacher, a transgender teacher, who has a confrontation with the student. We're gonna take a look at that. We're gonna look at the transgender teacher, and let's. The transgender looks like a YN. So we have this young YN trans teacher and another YN student that kind of prefaces the video. But let's take a look at what happens. Got to get my audio. Let's take a look.
Okay. Because I need to just get this out now because I have to leave. So I'm talking to one of the kids and I'm telling him like, yo, you was going for like 30 minutes. Where was you at? You said that you was supposed to go here to get something. Then you're like, oh, they don't got it. But you was going for like 30 minutes, right? Talking to him, another one that I don't really have, he chimes in. And he like, what he said or something like that. And the other one picked up on it and was like, he, she, you mean she? Like they was trying like, and I said, either or, y'all know what the fuck is going on? Like neither one of y'all were playing my face like that, right? So the one started going off or whatever, and he just kept like picking on the other one. I was like, as I was like talking to him, I'm just like, either or, like, da da da. Like, I don't even play those games, so it's like you wouldn't even dare. Neither one of y'all would dare disrespect me like that. The other one kept going on, kept going on, kept going on. As like negging him on, I'm just like, stop nitpicking with him. Like, stop nitpicking with him. Oh my God.
All right. Oh, don't go away. Trust me, it gets much better than that. I just wanted to give commentary. This is part one. So, first of all, why would you hire a motherfucker that looks like this? Look at what he's wearing. This is not a professional outfit at all. Okay, a teacher should be wearing a nice dress. Just a professional look. I don't know what it looks like to be a professional woman. But this is not professional. This motherfucker has on a jumpsuit. And besides that, look at the nose ring, look at the weave, look at the ball, not the ball cap, but the toboggan that he has over his head. Who the fuck is hiring this motherfucker to be a teacher? To be a teacher. Now I can see if you cashier at Walmart, okay, cashier at McDonald's, a teacher. So we get this. I don't know if I'll get kicked off YouTube for calling this YN a YN. Okay, for calling this teacher who's actually a YN. I don't know, but who would hire this? Look at him and look at his language. Not just the Ebonics. The Ebonics is bad enough. I hate people. I hate black people who speak in Ebonics. Especially in a feminine Ebonic voice. Like, girl. I told that little nigga you better sit down. Boy, you been going out of class for 30 minutes. Where you been? What the fuck, nigga? You're a teacher. But who hired this nigga? So it's bad enough you got all that going on. But then listen to the language. He's just a cussing. What? And you wonder why the black kids fail. We wonder why the black kids fail. This is why the black kids fail. Because whoever was in charge of the hiring process, I don't know if he's a science teacher or English teacher or what, who's ever in charge of the hiring process said, despite this motherfucker having a nose ring, which is bad enough, if you have a nose ring, you don't wear a nose ring as a teacher to school. It's just not professional. Despite, obviously, this person is transgender. Obviously, this is a man who believes he's a woman. He's dealing with some type of mental crisis. Despite the bad language, the cursing, and then the emotional nonsense that goes along with it. Despite all of that, whoever the hiring manager is decided, I think this crazy motherfucker will be perfect to help raise our kids, to help rear our children. This is why people are getting homeschooled. This is one of the reasons why Trump got elected. But if you thought that was bad, trust me, it gets even worse. This is part two. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the transgender teacher.
I'm sorry. Somebody was coming to the door. So I'm telling the little boy, I'm like, yo, chill out, right? Chill out. Like, you keep coming at him, and I'm the adult. Like, you don't have to say nothing to him. And obviously, he's getting irritated with you saying something to him. Girl, because I got to put my shit on because they done sent me home for the day. I'm like, you need to chill out or whatever have you. And so the little boy, like, who you talking to? I was like, I'm talking to you. Like, it was just crazy energy. Like, who you talking to? Bitch, this little boy turns to me and says, you a fucking man. It's nothing about you fucking real. You fucking fake. But the first thing he blurted out was, you got a fucking dick, bitch. You got a fucking dick. Like, bitch, you fucking fake. And mind you, like, this is like in front of everybody. Like, oh my God. The public embarrassment, whether motherfuckers understand, know, speculate, whatever. For you to fix your fucking lips and say that astronomically, like, I cannot. put into words how pissed I am right now, right? So I'm like, yeah, you know, you got the right one. Like, you're not talking to me like, go about your business, go about your business. This motherfucker, the principal's pulling him back. He comes around her talking about, yeah, because what the fuck is you on? Like, this little boy just tried to fight me. Like, I mean, full on try to fight me. You're a fucking man. You're a fucking man, bitch. You got a fucking dick. He just kept saying, you got a fucking dick. You got a fucking dick. And he just kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it. And screamed at the top of his lungs as he was trying to fight to get through them. I just kept saying, you got the wrong one. You got the wrong one. You got the wrong right one. I'm telling you. And these little motherfuckers is big. They not like, he's 6'2". I'm not 6'2". I'm 5'8". And the principal was like, she say whatever she say. Fuck y'all. I'm out this bitch. And the fact that y'all allow these motherfucking kids to motherfucking disrespect me. Then a little girl come up here and like, she was one of like the bad ones that I was like, oh, you know, she do whatever she want. Her grandma work here, right?
All right. So I mean, you essentially get the gist. Now there's an even bigger update. So just stick with me here. So look at how he talks about the kids. The kid is actually telling the truth. Okay, the kid is telling the truth. Hey, the kid says, hey, you can't question me. You're a man dressing as a woman. You're coming in here trying to teach the kids. You haven't even learned basic biology. How the fuck can you teach a science class? You don't understand that penis and balls equals man. You can't do basic math. Well, it's not arithmetic, but if you can't do that basic fact, how can you be a math teacher? How can you be a science teacher? How can you be an English teacher? A person living in this type of delusion just should, plain and simple, not be teaching our children. And even besides that, okay, if let's just say, let's get over the fact for a second that this is a man pretending to be a woman. Let's get over that fact for a second. And let's just simply look at the fact that look at how he refers to the kids. He called the kid a nigga at one point, I believe, or at least a motherfucker. He said, this motherfucker's 6'2". I'm only 5'8". This motherfucker's 6'2". I mean, who would want that teaching their kids? I mean, seriously. Why was it? And you know this is a predominantly black school. The way the kids acted, the way he describes the kids behaving, you know it's an all black school. The white kids don't act like that. At least most of the time. Not the white kids I've met. But anyway, not at school. But nonetheless, you know it's a black school. Why wasn't there an uproar from parents? Because if I was a parent and I found out my kid was being taught by a man pretending to be a woman, standing up in the classroom, motherfucker, sit down. Motherfucker, can you come up on the board and write something down for us? And show us an example on the board, motherfucker. Come here, bitch. Come here, bitch. Bitch, get up. I need you to show an example. I would be absolutely outraged. I would immediately take my kid out of that school district. And I would be like those white people going to the school board meetings complaining. But it's like black parents don't give enough of a fuck about their kids to know what's going on. Half of the parents probably didn't even know this man was sitting up teaching their kids. I'm not lying. They don't go to parent-teacher conferences. Now, my mom always went to parent-teacher conferences. But and I would go with her. So whenever I would go to parent-teacher conferences with my mom, I'd be confronted. It'd be like a come-to-Jesus meeting with the teacher, my mom. It'd be very scary sometimes. But I noticed there were white parents there. I was at the parent-teacher conferences. But never any black parents. And why do you think test scores in black schools are so low? You know that school, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to look at the furthest development of this story. The story finally comes to a head, but I'm going to say this. That school LeBron James has out in Akron, Ohio, it's a black school, all black kids. For the past 5 years, I should have pulled up this story for the video. For the past 5 years, this school has failed in math English, and science. Not a single student in the entire school is of reading level, of decent, have decent math scores. And, people will tout and say, "Oh, well, they go to college. They all of them have went to college. They have a." So what that tells you, and that's true. A lot of the kids at the LeBron James school, they do end up going to college and graduating college in a lot of cases. But what does that tell you? What that tells you is the black kids, a lot of them really just don't have the knowledge. They haven't been taught. They haven't been taught at home. They're not being taught at school. And then they get out into the college world. The college professors just push them on by. A lot of times the professors don't even read the paper. As long as they turn something in, they just mark something because they don't want to be called racist. So they're putting all these ill-equipped black kids through college. This transgender, to be a teacher, this guy had to go to college. They're putting him through college despite not having learned a damn thing, despite not having the knowledge to be equipped to be effective in whatever fields they went to school for. They end up passing through college and they end up just fucking up in the real world. We're looking at one of the results of that. So, but nonetheless, let's look at this is the story reaches ahead with this final video, and we're going to take a look at that.
So, I just got a phone call. And a very important phone call. And what was said on this phone call was that I no longer work there, effective immediately. So now that I can say that without being a little more hysterical, I need to figure out what the fuck I'm about to do.
Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. We ain't even finna listen to what the fuck you gonna do. Sit your ass down. He talking about now I need to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do. Why is this motherfucker so vulgar? I mean, I understand, I'm not a Mother Teresa. Sometimes, I can be a little vulgar. But I mean, I'm not a professional. Okay? I'm not a professional. This is a teacher. If I was a teacher, I wouldn't be on YouTube talking like this. Why? Because I have young kids looking up to me. Right? I can talk how I want to talk now. Gosh. And I didn't even get to the point of just the emotionalness, just crying over a little kid telling the truth. The little kid simply told the truth, saying, "Hey man, you can't tell me nothing. You got a dick." And you dressed up like a woman in a weave, in a two-piece suit. That wasn't a two in a female romper, whatever you call it, jumpsuit. And you're sitting here trying to bark out orders. Sit your manly ass down. And he barked back at the student. Now he's fired. He's mad because he's fired now. And I don't feel sorry for him. I don't think he should have been hired in the first place. Overall, I think it's good that he got fired. Yes, we shouldn't have somebody like this in our education system, especially not teaching children. But I think it's sad, one, that he was hired by any school district in the first place. And I think it's just sad what we have in black schools, what we have going on in our education system. Bad teachers, bad students, bad administration. Just bad all the way around. I'll tell this story and I'll close. I remember my ex-girlfriend, I've talked about her on the channel before, Dynasty. Dynasty's mother was a teacher. And I remember one time we were all hanging out. We were coming from Memphis, Tennessee, headed to Arkansas. And on the Memphis Bridge there were a group of Palestinian protesters. Okay, and everybody knows what the Palestinian flag looks like. There were a bunch of Arab people, Palestinians, I'm assuming. And I promise, I shit you not, We driving by and her mama gonna say, it's them the China people. They need to keep that stuff over there in China. It's them the China people. And I said, no, ma'am, those are Palestinian protests. She said, what is a Palestinian? What is a Palestine? What is that? I'm like, bitch, have you not been watching the news for the past 2 or 3 years? Have you not been watching the news at all? Because, I mean, you don't even have to follow the news that much to know, yeah, there's a conflict going on between Israel and Palestine. And she started going, why they doing that over here? What's going on? Them the China people. And I said, this bitch is a teacher. Now, if she was a janitor somewhere, if she was working at McDonald's or Walmart or some shit, Costco, I wouldn't really give that much of a fuck. But it's the fact that this bitch was that dumb and was going to school the next day to make kids even more dumb. This bitch couldn't teach a dog how to sit, but she's in charge of students. Same with people like this. I wouldn't trust this transgender to teach my cat how to use a litter box. We damn sure should not trust them with our children. And this is why Trump won. Nonetheless, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And remember to like, subscribe, share. And as always, stay woke.